domoro ka diate
boy jannon sikes restaurant
e say nakko be ninna dimbal nimba domoro kala janno
domoro seneyata adiyata topotoro fanan kendema bije luntan during tamala abeka domoro ki janni adi manda wala de te ka we bijele anim fanan ka fadi jang ikono e fa e ka fa minne ko pastry anim bakery iko fanan be kalele
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم خير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالإسخار شهد الله أنه لا إله وملائكته وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم ربنا أعطنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Bishop.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. Lord God, Jehovah, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the great I am that I am, the one who controls the universe, and the one who controls all humankind. We continue to submit ourselves as human beings throughout the whole world under your rulership, under your mercy, under your compassion, under your love, your empathy, and forgiveness. We continue to ask that you mold each and every human person throughout the whole world to be like you, to be good, to be loving, to be caring, to be sympathetic, and to care for each and every other human person. And so we submit ourselves as we continue our sittings, and submit all the witnesses that will appear before us as commission. We pray that they will speak the truth. The commission, grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood, and also grant the population and those that in diaspora the patience to allow the due process to take its proper course. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop. Lead Counsel, are we ready to start?
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman. We are ready to proceed. May I now ask that the witness be brought in place. Thank you.
I, Babou Loum,
man Babou Loum,
man Babou Loum,
do swear that
maa ngi waat ne
maa ngi waat ne
I'll speak the truth,
dinaa wax dëgga
dinaa wax dëgga
the whole truth,
dëgga bi yépp
dëgga bi yépp
and nothing but the truth.
duma fi wax leneen lu dul dëgga
du ma fi wax leneen lu mooy dëgga
So help me God.
kon yàlla dimbale ma
kon yàlla dimbale ma
My friend, good morning, Mr. Loum.
Mr. Loum ñu ngi laa nuyu
Welcome to the TRRC.
ñu ngi laa dalal fii ci TRRC
Thank you for agreeing to testify.
di la jaajëfal tam li nga nangu pour ñëw joxe fi sa seede
You have taken an oath to speak the truth.
da nga waat ba pare pour wax dëgga
It's a criminal offense in the laws of this country to lie on the oath.
te boo waatee ba pare nag boo waxul lu dul dëgga da ngaa yàqal luwaa réew mi
It is also an offense to lie before the TRRC.
te ci wàlli luwaa TRRC tamit boo waatee ba pare te waxuloo dëgga da ngaa yàqal luwaa bi fi
Are you aware of that?
ndax yëg nga loolu
waaw yëg naa ko yes I'm aware of it
Mr. Witness, would you mind to take off your glasses?
Hmm?
Do you mind to take off your glasses?
mu ne ndax di nga mën a génnee
The
sa weer
commissioners need to see you clearly and be able to assess whether you are being truthful or not. So it would be helpful if you could remove your glasses.
bu fekkee ne yaa ngay joxe fii sa seede dinay am solo lool nag pour ñu jàkkaar la yow mën a gis sa bët yi ndax loolu mooy gën a mën a firndeel ne li nga wax dëgg la ci yow
waaw baax na naa ko def yes it's fine I'll do it
Thank you very much.
jërëjëf
You are called here today
tey dañ la oo fii
testify about particular events that you witnessed
bi ngir nga joxe sa seede ci xew-xew yoo xam ne yaa ngi ko seede woon
at the NIA in 2006.
loolu mu ngi xewoon NIA atum 2006
And let's start with your background information.
nañ commencé pour xam yow yaay kan
What are your full names?
naka nga tudda
maa ngi tudd Babou Loum my name is Babou Loum
What is your date and place of birth?
fan nga juddoo ak kañ nga juddu
maa ngi juddoo Bara 8 February 1965 I was born in Bara 8 February 1965
Where did you go to school?
fan nga jàngee school
maa ngi jàngee SO Primary School I went to SO Primary School
And thereafter?
gannaaw boobu
in 1972 si la dugg school SO Primary School I went to school in 1972 SO Primary School 76 ma sat for the common entrance examination I took the common entrance examination in 1976 ma am a fair pass mark pour dem high school I had a fair pass mark to proceed on to high school loolu tax ma repeat 1977 that was why I repeated in 1977
Excuse me, what do you mean by you had a fair pass mark to go to high school?
lan la tekki boo waxee ne li nga wax noonu ne da nga am fair pass mark pour dem high school loolu lu mu tekki
because time boobu pour dem high school yaa ngi waroon a am maybe 245 so amee 245 pass mark di nga mën a dem high school because during those days if you had 245 as pass mark you could proceed to high school waaye mark bi ma amoon secondary school rek la ma mën a yóbbu but the mark I had could only take me to secondary school.
In essence, you did not pass the common entrance.
I pass now because nyari passes la danga pass for secondary school or high school. Yes, I passed. There were two passes, one for the secondary school and the other for the high school.
Well, if you go to secondary school, it means you did not pass the common entrance.
Well, lim tekki moy bo demé secondary school moy ne pass lo common entrance.
No, lolu munut li ma mëna understand for moy so demé secondary school kon da nga pass da nga am a fairly pass mark because ñaari passes la ben pour high school ben pour pass fi naka fair pass mark bi mo la doon yobu ci secondary school. No mo mëna yobu secondary school suma amuton the fair pass mark pour secondary school so da ngay ne bo dama fail xam nga all and all because the math still at primary 6 ma jëlat a common entrance exam bi.
My understanding is that if you had a fair pass mark, you could go to secondary school. The other one was for the high school. So if I did not get the one for the secondary school, I would have repeated.
Okay, what was the pass mark for the secondary school?
Ñaata nga amone pour duga secondary school?
Did it?
La mo nekon pass mark pour secondary school.
What was the pass mark for the secondary school?
It was around two.
My friend, it did not exist. It did not, because it did not exist.
It was existing.
But you can't remember it.
Yeah.
But you could remember the one for high school.
Council, Mr. Commissioner Jaro wants to make a point of...
The witness is correct, please. I don't need to get into the details, but the witness is right.
Mr. Jaro.
The marks were two. You passed for junior secondary or the high school pass mark.
Yeah.
Most of our students who are here, they also want that was true.
The rule was, okay, you sit common entrance to go for high school. Okay, there was a catchment. If you do not pass to go to high school, there is a catchment for those who have done slightly better than the others, and those would be allowed to go to junior secondary school, and the rest would have to repeat primary school.
Or drop out.
Yes.
Completely.
Or drop out.
And in fact, the majority of them dropped out.
Yes.
So that's why, in fact, what he's saying is correct. There were two categories.
Yes.
You pass for high school, or you pass only to enter junior secondary school.
Yes, I accept that. But what my point is, the objective was not to go to secondary school.
Yes.
The objective was to go to high school. So, repeating primary 6 or going to junior secondary school was for those who did not pass.
For the high school.
That's it. Yes, but anyway, that is not a very significant point. Did you have to sit the common entrance again?
Yes. Yes, sorry.
And did you pass to go to high school?
Ndax jëlaat nga common entrance bi mu ne waaw léegi ndax bi nga ko jëlee pass la pour dem high school.
Bi ma ko jëlaatee maa amoon 238.
When I sat the exams again, I got 236.
Mënuma ko make.
238. I couldn't make it.
So you did not pass again?
Wow.
Yes.
And what did you do?
I went to Crab Island.
I went to Crab Island.
And the first time, what did you get?
First time, I'm on 236.
The first time I got 236.
And the second time, 238.
38, wow.
38, yes.
Okay.
It was funny.
So the first time you stayed at SL Primary?
Wow,
yes, that was where I stayed.
And the second time you went to Crab Island?
Wow.
And yes. Then what happened?
I Crab Island sa joxone ma chance because both in Form 1 then I just chance to repeat to get a common entrance.
When I went to Crab Island, I was given a chance because in those days they could give you a chance in Form 1 to sit the common entrance.
After
did you sit to that common entrance?
Common entrance, boom.
No, jëluma ko woon parce que dama dem ba after school bi neex ma.
I didn't retake the examination because after a while I became used to the school.
So ma continue ci school bi benn yoon.
So I continued.
In 1982.
And in 1982.
Ma start ma dem exam bi ñoo wa secondary 4 school living certificate.
I took the secondary 4 school living certificate examinations.
I
completed.
Then Madam talk bara.
I returned to Bara.
The seal.
This full living certificate was also a route to go to high school. Did you get the opportunity to go to high school?
Natum ham bobu secondary for school living certificate. Bobu tamit benen yoon la pour nga mëna dem high school. Ndax jotoon nga mëna dem ci high school bi.
Man fofu la bu wona emala suma janga.
That was where I intended to stop my education.
And what did you do afterwards?
Gana bi lo def.
Ma dem tok Bara.
I returned back to Bara.
Di nek ci gal yi de gal yi Bara Banjul di seal.
I was engaged with the Porox, flying from Bara to Banjul.
Seal as far to Sabuya in Senegal.
Sailing as far as Sabuya in Senegal.
So in 1983.
In 1983.
Ma dem attend business training.
I attended a business training course.
Conducted by IBAS, Indigenous Business Advisory Service.
Conducted by the Indigenous Advisory Service.
Indigenous
Business Advisory Service.
For 2 months in Berening.
For 2 months in Berening.
After you got my certificate.
After that, I was awarded a certificate.
In 1984.
1984.
Ma live naka ma dem attend Red Cross training.
I attended a Red Cross training
on first aid.
On first aid.
After I was certificated.
After that, I was certified.
Okay. Certificated.
Certificated.
Which is very good English in this context.
All right. So,
so within that,
I apply for as a summary clerk in the then cooperative union.
I applied for a post of a summary clerk in the then cooperative union.
I
was there for some time.
School Bara.
At the time, there was a school that was newly opened in Bara.
In the late 85.
In late 1985.
So, I prefer put them lials ma dika.
And I preferred to work for my community. I resigned from my job and went.
And
I was employed in the school
as the head teacher.
As head teacher.
Sajuka no see an adult literacy school laturon.
It was
Sajuka no see an adult literacy school.
It was called Sajuka Adult and Nursery.
Sajuka Nursery and Adult Training School.
In
the night, we train adults. In the day, we teach the kids.
Early 94.
I was there until early 94.
I'm a British couple.
There was a British couple
business
who wanted to assist me to start a business. It couldn't materialize.
After I'm been friend was Sky Chapman.
But I had a friend called Sky Chapman
from the UK,
Bristol. We also had an agreement for him to open up a shop for me.
I business course
I considered that since I had a business course which I took before,
I'm not a little experience to start set up a business.
I had a little experience to be able to start up a business.
So
that was how he opened a shop for me.
I friend.
I was there with a friend of mine.
So school watch at 1 o'clock.
If I go to school and close by 1 o'clock, he will step down and I will take over from the shop. And I'll be there up to 12. And I'll be selling at the shop.
March 1994, March 17 March 1994.
The 17th of March 1994.
By Sajuka.
That was when I left Sajuka.
ma continuer si njaay mi.
And I continued with my selling.
What do you do at the moment?
jamono ji lan nga nekk di def.
Business.
I'm into business.
Si business bi ma nekkoon di ko doon def.
The business that I was doing before.
ma continuer si loolu.
That was what I continued.
léegi nii sax léegi su ma amee ni second hand lifi naka cloth ni comme like bales sa yi nii.
Nowadays, if I have second-hand clothes in bales,
si loolu laa dee dundee daal.
that is what I do for my sustenance.
At some point, you were a photographer or a videographer.
Okay.
non non jamono joo xam ne dañ daan nataal wala di video.
Okay. Sorry for that. That escapes my mind.
Sorry for that. It escapes my mind.
It's okay.
Video operator laa woon.
I was a video operator.
Time bi ma bàyyee time boobu maa ngi jaay ba pare maa ngi operate video.
At that time, I was selling and at the same time operating the video.
You play film shows, play matches again.
Showing films and matches.
Mr. Witness, quite clearly, you are a very smart person.
seede bi leer na nag ne yow ku eewu nga.
I have looked at your statement. You have gone through it.
seet naa kàddu yi nga xam ne moom nga bind te yow tamit seet nga ko.
You have made some changes to the statement.
am na ay soppali yoo xam ne def nga ko ci.
Is that the case?
noonu la demee.
waaw parce que dafa am lu bind loo xam ne waxuma ko so bi ma ko seetee ma gis ne li ma wax ak moom lu bind dafa uti.
Yes, because there were certain things that were written down which I did not say. So when I went over it, I noticed that, so I had to make the changes.
And you are satisfied with the statement now and have signed it?
léegi gannaaw boo defee wecceeku yooyu ba pare nag bi mu nekk li ci des yëpp léegi doy na la ba nga sign ko.
waaw doy na ma sign ko.
Yeah, just take a look at it.
Yes, I was satisfied and I signed.
Take a look at it, satisfy yourself that this is the statement you read and made changes to and have signed.
seet ko bu baax ba mu leer la ne lii mooy yi nga xam ne moom nga joxe sa ay kàddu ak soppal yi nga ci def yëpp ba seetaat ko ba mu doy la ba nga sign ko.
waaw.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, we would ask to put it in evidence and we would provide an exhibit number afterwards if you agree.
Okay, request granted.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Just a minute. Mr. Witness, do you recall March 2006, the reason why you went to the NIA in Banjul?
seede bi ndax fàttaleku nga weeri March atum 2006 li taxoon ba nga dem NIA Banjul.
waaw fàttaleku naa ko.
Yes, I can recall.
Tell us the reason why you went.
wax ñu la na tax nga dem fa.
From benn bis early morning.
There was this day, early in the morning.
Suma benn xarit.
One of my friends.
Suma mbokka.
Who was also a relative.
Because my childhood friend.
Was a childhood friend also.
Mama called.
He called me.
What's his name?
Naka la tudda?
I am heading to that.
Mama called.
Just answer the question. What is his name?
Tontu laajte bi rek naka la tudda?
Sergeant Senindur.
Sergeant Senindur.
Yes.
Yes. What did he tell you?
Lan la la wax?
Ma call mu ne ma dama bëgg nga ñëw fii.
He called me and told me I would like you to come here.
Ma ne ko lu xew?
And I asked him, what's the matter?
No, dafa am ñu bëgg na daane nguur gi waaye dañ leen jàppa.
He said there were people who were attempting to overthrow the government, but they have been arrested.
Mu ne ma dama bëgg nga ñëw pour nga nekk independent witness.
He said to me, I want you to come and become an independent witness.
For what institution did Sergeant Dur work for?
Sergeant Senindur moomu fan laa liggéey.
Mu nekkoon di serious crime issue, something like that, yes.
It was the serious crime issue, something like that.
The Banjul Police Headquarters.
At the Banjul Police Headquarters. Yes.
Yes. And then?
All right. Okay, bima wahelo maniko why manduma security personnel.
So when he said that to me, I said to him, but I am not a security personnel.
No, I have na.
He said to me, I'm aware, but just come.
No, my only time statement break.
He said that your arrival will just coincide with the time that we'll be taking the statements. He convinced me, and I crossed over.
Every time we 7 o'clock.
The ferry would leave depart Banjul at 7 o'clock.
Silima muna fatele kudal 8 o'clock fekanama Banjul.
But what I can recall was that by 8 o'clock I was in Banjul.
8:20 fekanama.
This was, he called you the day before, correct?
No, the same day, she subatel.
No, it was the same day, early morning, when he called.
At around what time?
Time was around 6.
It was around 6.
Around 6. Face my telephone.
Because my telephone is never put off.
Yeah, okay.
When he called me,
okay, no, when
I crossed over, I was at the Banjul terminal by 8.
Why my XCC, because I'm from Majar.
I got to some other place.
My XCC NIA headquarters by 8:20.
But I got to the NIA headquarters by 8:20.
When you see Salbi, I need.
When I got to the hall, there were many people.
Then see office bunda one Sergeant Momofi.
I went to a small office and told them that I was called by Sergeant Dur. He told me that we don't allow people to come inside here.
I called Sergeant Dur.
I called Sergeant Dur. I believe he spoke to them.
Intelligence officers.
He told the intelligence officers who were there.
Then can you escort me?
And then one of them came and escorted me.
What's the name of the person who came to escort you?
I don't know him.
One Sergeant Dur.
I knew only Sergeant Dur.
So
when he took me, we went upstairs.
It's almost about 4 to 5 military men.
I found 4 to 5 military men.
Armed.
They were armed.
With what?
They had guns.
AK-47.
AK-47s.
So
when I got in, until I saw them,
the
guns scared me.
After office,
but after they took me into another office,
Director Jim Drame.
I found the director there, Jim Drame.
By that time, the director of political matters.
If I am not mistaken, I believe at the time he was the director of political affairs.
Wow.
Yes.
So after some minutes,
just after some minutes,
Lamin Cham
came inside and joined us.
Detective Lamin Cham.
When he came,
Lamin Cham, which service did he work for?
Serious crime. After going on major crime.
Serious crime. I think it was after that they had major crime.
And then?
When he found me there,
introduce me Jim.
After we exchanged greetings, he introduced me to Jim.
Then afternoon, Jim Guinea.
And that was how Jim left. And then they brought in one of the accused coup plotters.
Recalls my mind whether it was Wasa Kamara or Bunja Dabo or Faring, I don't know. You know why why I was not really sure.
I cannot recall the person, whether it was Wasa Kamara, Bunja Dabo or any other, or Faring. I cannot recall who it was.
How did the person look? Okay. Did you see anything distinctive on him?
seetlu nga ci moom loo xam ne mandarga la bu ñu mën a xam.
non gisuma woon benn mandarga si moom.
I did not see anything distinct.
Did he appear very normal at the time?
boo ko seetloo na koo xam ne daal ni mel la war a mel.
well bi ma ko gisee.
When I saw him,
li ma observe si moom.
what I observed about him,
dafa def ni ku tayal daal.
he was someone who looked not very active.
Did he look dizzy?
mel na ni daal ku mandi.
Dizzy, mel ni
kuy miir daal.
dizzy foo naa mooy tayal rek yi fi yaram bi jàpp ay tayal daal man tayal laa ko mën a liggéey tayal dama ko gis daal mu def ni ku tayal rek.
As for me, dizzy would be the same as being not very active. That's where I take him to be.
In your statement, paragraph 9, you said, from my observation, he looks somehow dizzy, and I told him to feel comfortable and feel relaxed.
ci kàddu yi nga bind da nga wax ne bi nga ko seetloo dafa mel ni ku tayal daal waaye nga won ko ne daal nag dal.
waaw xam nga làkkuñu angale olof la ñoo làkka moo tax xam nga bi mu disi ma ne ko disi ak tayal rek benn la mooy tayal bi ma la wax rek noonu laa ko gisee bi mu dugasee.
You know, we did not speak in English. We were communicating in Wolof. That was why when he mentioned the word DC, I told him it's the same as tired, which in this case would mean someone who is not very active.
So you want us to strike off dizzy and say he looked lazy?
Lazy.
Well, so waaw defal loolu rek because man daal dama ko gis mu def ni ku tayal rek tayal bi man dama fa woone tayal dama fa woone dizzy mooy tayal non ba ma woone lazy you know lazy dizzy yëpp benn la.
I believe dizzy is the same as being lazy.
Tell us exactly what you wanted to say.
Léegi wax ñu yow lan nga bëgg a wax naka nga ko gisee.
waaw bi ma ko gisee mu ñëw noonu def ni ku tayal daal koo xam ne daal waaw ku tayal rek.
When he came in, I observed him as someone who was lazy.
So did he appear tired?
Nuru na la ku tay.
non melu deful ne dafa tay waaye am nga yow lead counsel li ma la mën a wax foofu rek dafa ñëw daal dama ko gis comme mu ngi teyal daal ne comme Bunya Dabo li mu dugasee moom dugasee wut noonu because Bunya Dabo bi ma dugasee dafa dugal si with confidence kooku mun naa demee ma
def ko ci olof àndut ak cawarte.
He was not very active.
dafa teyaloon xam nga ku teyal
he was lazy. So one who is lazy is not active.
Ku teyal du cawar.
Anyone that is lazy, it would not be active.
Yeah. So you agree that
he
looked too subdued.
Wow. Wow.
He looked tired.
No, do more than sona be. While you mean the hotel, because somewhere I'm no younger to you, I'm the uncle younger to. I'm kusona munutko younger to. Why so tele, do you know younger to? Why don't you have come kit? I'm a sona actel do bena. So, Ramabuga knew I'm a sital fufu. The Moko Gistal would have kutel rek. Wow.
Okay, let's proceed. And then what happened?
Okay, after Slenko, Sinako guy introduced Agman.
That was when he was introduced to me, or we were introduced to each other.
Lamin Cham, Moko introduced Agman.
Lamin Cham did the introduction.
Babou Loum
and told him this guy is called Babou Loum.
Bara Ladika.
And he's from Bara.
Video operator.
And he's a video operator.
He
has come to witness that.
Finga has a statement.
Here, where you are going to be giving your statement. That no one has forced you. No one has made things difficult for you. And that is what he's come here to witness. And he said that he has accepted.
And then?
Then after stated, fourth time Munuma recall my mind.
Also, at that point, I cannot recall in my mind
whether more Binal Bofan statement,
whether he personally wrote his own statement,
Lamin Cham Binal statement,
or whether his statement was written by Lamin Cham.
Muna remember some of the accused fake and time in your statement.
Because I can recall some of the accused were those that I was present when their statements were being written.
amna ñaar ñoo xamne be ci ñeta ñoo xamne ñom ñoo bindal dañ leen bindal seen statement am nga true ñom ñoy wax kile di ko bindal.
There were about 2 or 3 whose statements were written by others. They were just speaking and the statement takers were writing them. Yes.
When you went there, how many people did you see in that area, in that place? You've told us you saw 5 soldiers armed with AK-47.
AK-47.
Wow. Yes. Those were the ones I saw there. When I got into the office,
before you got into the office, how many people did you see around?
No, I understand the question. Come, you must fake a corridor. So, you must fake a corridor. 105 soldiers lava figure.
I do not understand the question. If it is in the corridor, I have said here that I found 5 soldiers there who were armed.
After the corridor, which place would you go to?
The office. Because the corridor office.
You go into the office because from the corridor you get into the office.
How many people were in the office?
There was 1 person in the office.
Jim Drame.
That was Jim Drame.
Was there another room close by?
Well, because explain so the corridor.
Yes, because the way I can explain, if you get into the corridor,
I'm not office on the right.
There was an office by the right.
Direct Salbino, I'm not been like conference room.
In front of the hall, there was a conference room in front of it.
Did you go to the conference room?
Conference room.
Conference room be demona for Benabis.
I went there one day.
Did you see what was going on in there?
Like Malan mo fodondo mo expand la while li fodondo.
The total question, Berek. The question
just
is,
answer the question.
See what was going on in there.
Tontu laajte bi rek ba mënon nga gis li nga xamne mo fa doon xew.
Waaw li ma fa gis waaw.
Yes.
What did you see?
Lan nga gis.
Li ma fa gis mooy dama ñëw fekk ñu ngi toog comme paneliste nii rek.
What I saw was when I got in, I found people seated in the form of a in the form of a panel.
Time boobu leen doon laaj pour time boobu leen doon laaj pour ñu wax ci télévision bi.
That was when they were being questioned to speak on television.
Boobu itam dañ ma xooloon pour ma toog seede.
That too, I was called to come and witness.
Fufu benn bés bu laa fa dugga.
That was the one day that I got in there.
How many people were in the room?
Ñaata nit nga fekk ci biir salle bi foofu.
mënuma ko xaymare fi mu nekk nii because
I cannot estimate at the moment.
Almost ñoom detective yi kii naka xam naa ne daal ñi ma xam mu ngi fa woon detective Lamin Cham mu ngi fa woon.
The people I knew were there. Detective Lamin Cham was there. Senindur.
Abdoulaye Sow mu ngi fa woon.
Abdoulaye Sow was there.
Kii naka Lamin Cham mu ngi fa woon.
Lamin Cham was there.
Boto Keita mu ngi fa woon.
Boto Keita was there.
waaw ñeneen ñu fa nekkoon yàgg xaw ma seen tur mënuma leen a mënuñu laa xam daal.
These are the ones I know. The others I don't know their names.
Do you know a person called Musa Jammeh?
Xam nga ku ñoo wax Musa Jammeh.
Musa Jammeh am na benn bés bu ma fekkoon foofu noonu.
There was one day that he met me there.
Ma laajte kii mooy kan.
And I asked, who is this man?
Mu ne ma mooy Malian Mungu, I don't know.
And they told me he is Malian Mungu.
Sila xam ne kii mooy Musa Jammeh.
That was when I knew that this man is Musa Jammeh.
How about Tumbul Tamba?
Naka Tumbul Tamba na?
The TRRC bi laa leen déggee rek.
No, I got to hear his name here at the TRRC.
But you knew Malia Mungu. What was he wearing when you saw him, Musa Jammeh?
Why xam nga Malia Mungu, mo Musa Jammeh mu lan la solon?
No man time bimo ko gis bimo ñew fofu nonu mo gis ko mu sol uniform.
The time that he came there and I saw him, he was dressed in uniforms.
What kind of uniform?
Ban façon uniform?
Military uniform la so onde. Why munuma xam nak ban façon uniform exactly la. Why
He was dressed in military uniform.
So ko gisé di nga xamné soldat la.
But if you see him, you would know that he's a soldier.
So in this place, there were police officers, correct?
No, fofu am na ay police yu fa nekkon.
Yes.
There were NIA officers.
NIA yang fa won.
Yes.
There were military officers.
Soldat yang fa won.
Soldat yang fa won.
Yes, soldiers were there.
Ñi téwon fétal ci biti.
Who had their guns and they were outside.
And there were also video men, cameramen.
Am na tamit cameraman yi doon jël video.
No man gisuma fa because la man gisuma fa won ku doon cameraman yi doon jaxna ñu ñu won rek GRTS bi ñëwé rek ñu doon gaay doon testify ñu doon wax the appeal to the president pour mu bala len ñu rek time wala gis cameraman moy gaay GRTS.
They were there. I did not see any cameramen. It was only GRTS who were there when they were appealing to the president. Apart from that, I did not see any other cameramen.
Would you say that upwards of 20 people were present?
On dinañ mëna wax ne dem na ba ci ñaar fukki nit yo xamne ñu fa téwon.
No lolu mo man mënu ko wax parce que am nga ci biir conference room bi la ñu wax. So there's a big conference room bay.
I can't say, but if we are talking about inside of the conference room,
well, I don't think that 20 need warna fa mëna nekk.
I do not believe that 20 people.
Su fekkee nga add soldat yi nga xam ne ñu ngi woon ci biti.
But if you add the number of the soldiers who were outside,
approximately mën na nekk loolu.
You could approximate it to that number.
How many times did you enter the conference room?
Ñaata yoon nga dugg foofu ci biir conference room bi?
Benn yoon sala géej sala fa bàyyi.
Once, and that was the last time.
How many times did you have to go to the NIA to be an independent witness?
Ñaata yoon nga dem NIA pour nekk fa independent witness?
Loolu nag mënuma ko fàttali ko xanaa ñu dem ci records ñu seet ñan la witness seen statement. waaye fàtte naa loolu.
I have forgotten that. I cannot recall, except if you go back to the records and check which people I served as witnesses for.
Was it just one day?
Benn fan rek la woon.
No.
One key naka.
Mr. Witness, just answer my questions.
Wow.
You don't answer your own question. You have to answer my question.
Laaj tontu li ma la laaj rek doo mën a tontu sa boppa li ma la laaj loolu nga tontu.
Did you go for only 2 days?
Ndax
or 2 times?
ñaari bés wala ñaari yoon nga ko dem.
Déedéet.
No.
Is it more?
ëpp na ko.
It's more.
3 times?
ñetti yoon.
Lit katsu. Li ma la wax tam danga ko war a consider. Li ma fa dem mënuma koo compter.
Lead counsel, I cannot count the number of times I have been there.
So you went many times?
Yes.
Maybe 5 times.
Maybe 5 times.
I don't
Maybe 10 times?
No, 10. No. Are you there?
Maybe 10 times?
Because man lima for them ego fukion.
Well, he could say that if at all he was there, but I know that my goings there was not up to 10 times.
8 times?
No.
You're very familiar with that place, weren't you?
That what?
Very familiar.
Palace bobu min nga ko de.
Place bobu minu mo de.
I'm not familiar with the place.
You're very familiar with the personalities and even their titles and responsibilities.
Minante nga ak ña fa liggéey am nga seen mahama xam nga it nga xam ne mooy seen liggéey.
Tey TRRC bi di sax gis leen ni rek tey ak li ma leen a seetaan ni tax na ma xam ñu bari fii.
Even here at the TRRC, just by looking at you, I'm able to know many people. There too, if you frequent there for some time, you get to know people.
But that is precisely the point.
If
you frequent there and you meet them every day, you get to know them.
Okay, so detective Shini.
Well, the reason why I got to know the detective. Dur is a friend, a relative as well.
Serious crime, major crime,
when he was at the serious crime until he got to the major crime, I usually went to his office. And I was going there, I made the place as my home.
And which detectives did you meet in his office?
Detective nga fekk ci office am bi.
Moy Lamin Cham.
Was Lamin Cham?
Abdoulaye Sow.
Abdoulaye Sow.
Same boss, something Cisse.
And their boss? Also known as Cisse.
Kukuna minu ko on that much. Why ni mom hamonalen Lamin Cham, Abdoulaye Sow, Boto Keta.
Lamin Cham, Abdoulaye Sow, and Boto Keta, but I was not very acquainted with their boss.
Mr. Witness, you got to know these people at the NIA.
NIA?
No. You have a major crime unit.
I knew them at the major crime unit.
Crime. Right then?
You could ask them.
You knew these people at the NIA.
NIA.
Mr. Witness, cut that nonsense. Cut that nonsense. We are not here playing games. You cannot be telling me these things. Okay? Answer the questions and answer them respectfully. Please. You are being treated with respect. Treat other people with respect. You cannot treat me like this. You cannot tell me these kinds of things. Let's do this properly.
Interpreter.
Wa sere bu mune comme kayo ñu la normal jox le cieur momi tamit dang ko wara jox cieur façon ni tontu yi nga xamne mom nga ko tontu lolu buñ ko nangu mu am fi nim la joxe cieur joxe ko nonu cieur lim la laaj nga tonto ko nim la ko laaje
da mo bëgg forcer lo xamne because jox na ko cieur be ko way li mo bëgg forcer man dama ko woné ko ñooñu fi ma leen xamé la wax way mo bëgg forcer pour ne fi la leen xamé xam mo leen fofu.
He wants to force me to say something which I don't want. He wants me to accept that I knew these people at the NIA when in fact, as I told him, I knew them at the police.
I am still under oath. So luma dama ko wax xam nga because ma digante ak yalla motax bëgguma wax dara lo xamne definitely
and you should also be aware that I am under oath and what I am saying is between me and God. I don't want to say anything here which is not true.
And Jim Drame?
Jim Drame nak?
Jim Drame fofu la ko xamé office am dañ don meeting bi office am la don take place.
I knew him there inside his office because the meetings were taking place there.
How many times did you go there?
Ñaata yoon nga fa dem?
The shape coxing models word. Okay, lead counsel. Monthly modem NIA is almost about 5 times, I think, you know.
Well, the same question has come back again, but lead counsel, I have been to the NIA for about 5 times. And all the times that I was there, I was usually go to his office. It was only one day that I got into the conference room. That was the last time. Yes.
Okay. Tell us about the first day. What happened?
Which first day?
The first day you went to the NIA.
Bes bi nga ñëka dem NIA.
You've told us you were received at the gate. You were walked to Jim Drame's office.
Wax nga ne gatandu nañ la ci bunta ba yóbbu la ci office Jim Drame.
And somebody was brought. You do not know whether it was Wassa or it was Bunja or whether it was Faring. Tell us what happened that day.
Xamuloo Wassa la xamuloo Bunja la xamuloo Faring la.
After being
lu xewoon bés boobu.
Sorry. Okay, after being introduced ak comme ni ma ko waxee rek accused bi.
As I said, after I was introduced to the accused.
So sitting here, you do not know which accused it was.
Te yow bi nga toog ni mënuloo xam kenn ñu tuumaaloon kan la.
I think it was Wassa. I think it was Wassa.
You also think it was Faring? You also think it was Faring?
Foog nga tamit ne Faring la?
Wow.
You also think it was Bunja?
Because we don't recall. Because
exactly. So you could not recall who was brought to you.
Wow.
Yes.
Yet you went to court. And clearly, in the case of Bunja, you clearly stated a perfect picture, not showing any sign of lapse of memory on any bit of what happened with him. Now here you are, you can't even remember whether the first was Faring or was Wassa or was Bunja.
I don't want to buy helitum, don't aramala, te am help with ni mama again, will help again, mage. So, no one fatally correct my kinika dugasi homoko. Why am I a mom that then could be a long statement?
You must also remember that I'm a human being and I have a memory which also fits as I grow in age. But as I said, the only thing I can remember was that the first person that was brought in had his statement written for him.
But earlier you told us you did not know whether he wrote the statement himself or it was written for him.
We are good near Wangafine, or Rutla, Nahmom, a cadio, Moko Bindal Bapam, Walla, Linko Bindal.
The Molan, I'm the new Hamme, no Binal Sembo for statement, I'm the new Hamedalian Binal statement.
I told you there were some who wrote their own statements, there were others who had their statements written for them.
But you also said you did not know whether Wassa wrote his own statement or whether it was written for him.
Why belegitam wanga vitamine orula nda Wassa mo bindal bopam kadomi wala den ko bindal?
Oh,
yes, I said that.
But you again told us that you do not know whether the first person wrote his statement.
Nga waxati ñu ne xamuloo ndax ka ñëkk moo bindal boppam kàddoo mi.
Panda li ma wax mooy loolu moom mënuma ko fàtte maa ko wax léegi nii.
I said that, I cannot forget that. I said that just
3 or 4 of them ñoo xam ne ñoo bindal statement.
There were about 3 or 4 who had their statements.
ñoo bindal seen bopp statement.
The rest had their wrote their own statements.
How many statements did you witness?
Yow ñaata kàddu yu binda yooyu nga seede.
Moom laa leen a wax loolu dama ko fàtte.
That's what I'm telling you people that I have forgotten.
You did not forget. You could not forget that. You could exactly remember the witnesses whose so-called confession you witnessed. How many?
Pour ñaata seede la witness.
Nyata suspect nga witness in confession.
How many suspects did you witness their confessions?
Ana jama tuti time ma konte li ma xam.
Except you give me a little bit of time to recall what I know.
The commission is listening.
Commission bi kañ ngay déglu.
If you want, we could give you pen and paper.
So bëggee ñu jox la kayit ak
pen and paper.
Yes, give me a pen and a paper.
So, lead counsel, something for Laila.
There's something I want to ask you, lead counsel.
Everyone
is putting on a mask. I wanted to put on a mask, but I was denied. Why? Lead counsel, could you please put on a mic?
You're sitting far from everybody. You have adequately social distanced.
ndaxte sori wante biñ ci soxla moom dang ko am ba pare yaa ngi sori wante ak ñëpp loolu moo tax.
I am sorry you would not be given the luxury to hide behind a mask.
te duñ nangu nag pour ngay wax nag làqu ci gannaaw masque.
What yaa ngi sori wante kii mu ngi sol mask.
That's his choice, Mr. Witness.
And it's my choice also to put on the mask.
Mr. Witness, please respect the commission and proceed. We are not here to play games.
No, play games. Yeah, play games. You are thinking of games. Man, make of people only.
And you know what? You have to change your attitude and treat this process with the seriousness that it deserves.
Foog nga wécci nag ni nga jëfee nii bu ko defee jataay bi nga dal di ko fonka jox ñu nga xam ne moo fi cëri ñëpp.
Man am na xamuloo ma man I'm just like this.
Look, let's cut the personal aspect of it and let's just do the work and be done with it.
nañ def liggéey bi rek bul ko jëlal sa bopp liggéey bi lim laaj nañ ko def rek ñu jeexal ci.
waaw baax na problème.
It's good. It's not a problem.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Could you sign it? Could you sign it?
Sign what?
Sign the document?
loolu nga binda sign ko. li nga
The
binda.
document you just wrote. Did you sign it?
So
You signed the bottom of the document?
tur yi nga binda noonu signal ci suufam wane na yaa ko binda.
waaw man maa ko binda waaye xam nga.
Yes, I wrote it.
waaye xam nga pareeguma ba pare munaguma sign ba pare xam nga because pareeguma maa ngi binda dama josa amagum 1 2 3 4 5.
It's not yet done. I only have about 5 names.
dama binane man ma amra ay Babou Loum ne wodana ba just my signature.
Do you want me to write and state that I, Babou Loum, blah blah, or do I just put on by my signature on the document?
Just write your name under the signature.
Sign ko rek nga binda sa tur ci ronam.
Sign ana kay ma def ko ci kanam because sign na ci suuf amul column amul side bu ma def sama tur bi.
There's no column to put my name.
Could you send the document through, please?
These are the ones I can remember at the moment.
Could you please put in the surnames?
mun nga fa binda seen santa yi tamit.
Man ba xam naa yow seen sant. Faring xamal na la sant de.
I don't know Farin's surname.
You just told us Faring Sanyang.
No, Yanko, no, I swear to the God.
Okay.
To the Almighty.
Is it Sanyang or some other last name?
No, Kila, Bunya la ham santam.
Is Bunja's surname I know?
What's his surname?
Dabo.
Dabo.
I think it's Dabo.
Wasa, what's his last name?
Kamara.
Sana kala santa.
Kamara.
Ali, what's his last name? Answer the question.
Job.
Job.
Job la santa.
Yeah. Ak Faring na munu recall sen sant.
Yaya Dabo.
Yaya Dabo.
Yaya Dabo la.
Faring.
Sanya.
All right.
These are the names I can recall.
So you were an independent witness for 6 accused persons.
It can even be more than that number. But this is what my mind can recall.
The case of Kini Naka Alaji Homana Monako Vilifionda, that the other witness, Tijan Bujang.
I'm thinking of the case of Alaji, but I'm not sure whether I was the witness for him or the other witness who was Tijan Bujang.
Alaji Nying, I think.
Nying, I think.
Wow.
And for all these people, you had to come from Bara every day to come and do this process, witnessing of confessions.
Te pour ñi ñepp sa yu nek da nga wara joge ko Bara ñu fekke ci kaddu yi nga xamne mom la ñu wax nga nek sédé bi.
Waaw waaye nekkul ne kenn ku nekk every day ma ko doon ñëwal am na ñoo xam ne mënuma ko remember waaye am na ñoo xam ne daf doon nekk li fi nekk 2 statements lañ doon jël a day so nekkul ne every day rek comme like 6 dama war a jàll 6 times non jàll bi melutoon noonu waaye tam ñu doon jëlee statements yi nekkul ne am nga kenn ku nekk every day benn dañ ko doon jagleel bés. I remember I must not jail 2 statements at a time.
What type of statement?
Yan façon ye kaddu la da neka?
Moy ku protest rek ñom ñoo ku nekk ñëw ak statement am.
What type of statement did you witness?
Yan façon mom nga daan sédé yow?
Li ma daan sédé moy la dañ leen laajoon luñ xam ci coup bi ku nekk ñëw bindal lim xam.
What I witnessed was they would be asked what they knew about the coup attempt, and each one of them will come and explain.
Was it the cautionary statement?
Moy yi nga xamné mom lañ leen doon laaj ñuy binda?
Or the voluntary statement?
Wala yi nga xamné ñoko doon binda seen kaddu ciobare boppa?
No, the cautionary statement because voluntary statement si for ñu ko doon jëlé fele mile 2.
It was a cautionary statement because I believe the voluntary statement was taken from mile 2.
Did you go to mile 2?
Demon nga mile 2.
I
went there one day.
You did not say that before, did you?
No,
I was not asked the question.
But you knew the extent of your participation in this process.
Why xam nga yow sa taxaway ci li fi tollu won?
How much were you paid to do this work?
Ñaata lañ la daan fay pour nga def liggéey bi?
Over my dead body, kenn musut ma fay dara.
Over my dead body, nobody has ever paid me.
Ndur moma duwon ci li. He's a close friend of mine. Moma waron my ñew diko
the witness every day you leave Bara and come and spend your entire day at NIA. You're not paid.
No.
Ada bi bor bu set di nga bayé ko Bara ñew def bes bi yépp NIA te duñ la fay dara.
Ndur mo waron job pass ma delu wat Bara.
Ndur would give me fares to return back to Bara.
So Ndur would take out money from his pocket to give to you.
Bon Ndur xaliss bi daf ko daan génné ci posam di la jox.
Wow.
Yes.
For you to do the service of the state.
Pour nga def liggéey bo xamné réew mi nga ko doon defal.
Xam nga hina ñu man time xawma li xew ba pare hina Ndur itam I don't know why mo mëna jël pass.
Well, for me, maybe that time I wasn't aware of what was happening, and Ndur, well, you got me into this. But after the end of the process,
I don't know, Justice Department.
It was when we were called to the Justice Department.
Man ñu laaj ma ñaata la doon fay Bara be Banjul ak lima jota expense.
They asked me what my fares, the cost of my fares were from Bara to Banjul and every other expense that I incurred.
You calculate ko.
And they calculated it.
I'm sorry. You job my halis bogun 250.
And they gave me that money, 250.
You $250.
$250.
But at least we will del what back the Faneka Beren affair. $250
It was $250 they gave me.
Soon transport, soon living transport refund fares. Lindon paid you, then you go refund.
And they said that was our refund fares for the cost of our travel to and fro.
The 250 was the cost of your return fares.
Because time of Bara Banyul, I $7, I don't know, ferry was not on Egani.
At that time, the fare from Bara to Banyul was about $7.
2006.
So
around 2006.
You would spend $14 a day, correct? And you would not walk from terminal to Marina Parade, would you?
Sometimes some of this is a phone see Wahoo race laneka. The modern dog.
Sometimes if you saw me, you thought I was in a walking competition.
You were excited about this project.
Hmm?
You were committed.
No, so mostly parce que I'm going to
I was not committed, but it was something I started already.
Because limodon direct my okay, ega going through. Why? I don't know more on direct. So
something I was running away from.
What were you afraid of?
Because the modern heladne amga munna late.
I was thinking that I could be late.
No problems.
And then they'll get me, or they'll put me into trouble for that.
Because
put you into trouble?
Because
would put you into trouble?
Parce que day bi man dur amna benn bes ndur dama ko le mani moy dat day bi ma commencé di am na feel otherwise bi man dur ne ma ñew mané ko mané man du ma ñew
there was a day that ndur
called pour ma ñew mané ndur mané du ma ñew
no they called me to come
and
I told Ndur that I was not coming because I was starting to feel otherwise.
So ndur ne malata mané ko no because ki da ma pressurize.
Ndur asked me, what is the reason? I said, no, because this guy is pressurizing me.
Which guy?
Otu Jabang.
Otu Jabang.
Fali Jabang.
Fali Jabang.
Yes.
Pressurizing you to do what?
More time, no time, no time, statements. All time, court martial.
That was not when they were taking the statements. That was during the time of the court martial.
But we were talking about the time of the taking of the statements, when you were doing that Wahoo race.
Yes, this was something I started and which I had to complete.
Tell us about Fali Jabang scaring you. Tell us about that.
Well, because
because when they called me and I told them that I was crossing over,
on time.
I used to cross on time.
That very day, the Ma'amon, no, feeling free.
That particular day, I was not feeling free.
He called
me and I told him that I was not coming.
So I called
Ndur and I told him that Fali called me, but I told him that I was not coming. He told me just comply and go.
Because they are soldiers,
because they are soldiers and they can come and do anything.
Were you scared of them?
Well, for firing, I was scared of him.
I was
scared of Otu.
But you know that these guys were junglers?
I
never knew. Thank God, I got to know about the junglers here at the TRRC.
But you knew that these guys were dangerous.
I'm talking of the one I met.
This individual, I'm talking of the one I met.
This is Otu Jabang.
That is Otu Jabang. He used to pick me on the vehicle and take me.
And they were often drunk. One thing. Or high on drugs.
I cannot testify that, but the manner in which he was driving. Traffic officer Butta House Karamam Sah Dafde no boy dal mom yalla dal mom di mo rek fek gannaaw accident on every day. No traffic officer there to stand in front of him. In fact, it's only by the grace of God that we did not get into any accident.
And whenever he took you, he expected you to confirm what is contained in the statements, correct? Statements.
The statements they took from me, those were the ones that I was testifying to. Even if they threatened me to kill me, I would still say it, even if they were to kill me after. I personally, but personally, I could not accept it in my heart anymore.
Personally, I was terrified of him. You were terrified of him.
Wow. Yes.
And what was the reason?
One day we went to the Yundum barracks. One of my younger brothers from Bara, whose name I have forgotten, came and I was exchanging greetings with him. And he said to me, "Senior brother, do you know this man?" I said to him, "Thank you. I want you to tell me who this man is." And he said to me, "Oh, bro, these people are dangerous." I said, "Dangerous like how?" But he was thinking that perhaps I will reveal what he is telling me to Utu Jabang. And that was where he stopped. And that became a headache for me. Detective Abdullah Sow. I went and met Detective Abdullah Sow.
Where did you meet him? Where did you meet him?
Inside Yundum barracks. I said to him, "Abdullah, who is Utu Jabang?" And he asked me, "What's the matter?" I said to him, "One of my relatives here saw me and was telling me that he is dangerous." I said to him, "What does he mean by that?" He said, "Sometimes they are scared. Sometimes the soldiers, they used to be scared of each other." But that was not enough to convince me. After we were done with what we were doing, he said to me, "Babu, let's go." And I said to him, "No, I am not boarding in your vehicle." That was how we left. They put me into the vehicle of the mini boss, the vehicle of the coup plotters. When we arrived,
where?
Mile 2. I alighted so that the vehicle can proceed into Banjul. After that happened, after 2 days, Madam, she Director of Public Prosecution B. I went to the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Who was he?
Emmanuel Fagbelly. I don't know, Fagbelly. Fagbelly. Wow. Emmanuel Fagbelly. When I went to him, I said to him, I had a dream. And I did not have any dream. Because I wanted to escape the situation. Because I was put into a vehicle which some were lieutenants, others were captains, military know-how. And all of them had military know-how. Because those who were there armed with guns and guarding them, although their hands were cuffed, but they could have done something there very terrible. And for me, death was a certainty for me. I said to them, I will not enter the vehicle again. When I told him that I had that dream, that as we were moving, one of the accused took his the handcuff and held the muzzle of the gun, and the vehicle swerved onto the side of the road
and strangled the driver, and the vehicle swerved off the road.
And the vehicle swerved off the road. That was when I told him I'm not getting into it.
What you told him was a lie. What I told him was not true. I told him that just for them to know that I am not getting into that vehicle again. You would lie in order to save yourself from a situation.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Madam Chairperson, perhaps this is a convenient time to stop for the morning session. And thank you.
Thank you, lead counsel. Thank you, witness. Before we go, I want to say something. Mr. Witness, you raised the issue of the mask. I think the lead counsel answered you appropriately. But I want to put on record that the TRRC takes its COVID-19 protection responsibilities very seriously. Any person who walks into this premises, your health and safety we take very seriously. The lead counsel is not wearing a mask. You are not wearing a mask. For the simple reason that the social distancing protocols have been adhered to. As a witness, we need to see your face. That is why you were asked to take off your glasses. I can assure you that we take your health and safety very seriously. So please do not go away with the impression that we were putting you at risk at COVID-19. If you were similarly, we are putting the lead counsel at risk. And we do not want to lose our very valuable lead counsel, neither do we want to lose you. So please take that into consideration and know that you are a valued witness. Thank you.
Commissioner Sose.
Thank you.
Without no sagisnako,
I think even before you said that, I have observed.
Because
when I got inside here, I sat down with many people. And before I got into the hall here,
you don't check my, I don't know, pressure.
They were checking my blood pressure.
Okay, come lead counsel.
And I was okay, just as the lead counsel.
So I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with that. Thank you so much.
Very happy with it.
Okay, we come back at 12:15. Thank you.
Love like fire. Wow. Love like fire. Xam ngeen rek affaire bi xam ngeen fan la? Skincare la. 2020 lañ wax de. Waaw. Fii nag mooy Kerr fan Kerr Birotage. Perfect skin. Skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek. Loo lañ soxlaati rek. Maanaam bu ngeen am problème ci seen skin yéen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal ba laka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi defee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi mu nekk nii sax boole nañ ci nag Sweden fu nekk lañ leen a indilee products bu dee tamit nag da nga ñuul rek ñu lay jamaa natural beauty that melanin dripping we do have stuff for you as well emuñ si skincare products rek ñu ngi ci cuub yi tamit fu ne la ñoo jaar in fact sax last commercial bi ñu defoon waxuñ leen woon ne dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nag waaw we do have bundles as well hair si lu ne la ñoo dox ñun ñu ngi ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek waaw boo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon rek classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport dëgri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee waaw ngeen lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skin care products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit benn tey tamit si ay dàlla waaye man nag skin care mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner Kiwi Eye the whole range Lighten Up Gold Tomatine I mean the list can just go on and on and on and on lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox skin care plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu nga United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes fragrances men's shirts accessories we do dresses as well we do blouses I mean we do shoes name it we do them Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection zero task fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii
love like fire bring my yoboguma fire love like fire
Miss V Designer Outlet is the #1 quality and affordable stop shop for all your needs. Get your evening dresses, suit and ties, office wears for both ladies and gentlemen, beach wears, sport wears, pure leather shoes for men, quality belts, bags, heels for all beautiful ladies, original perfumes, accessories, and a lot more. Find us at Kololini Road opposite Gaddafi Mosque at the Aqua Preacher Station, or call us on 295-3411 or 764-2486. Miss B Designer Outlet. Shop right, look good.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
That's how she became mine and see that.